Okay. Welcome everyone to day 2 of Create and Chill. If you haven't already gathered some creative supplies, because we are here in mental health strategies using expressive art, I would suggest going and grabbing some creative materials, whether that's an art journal or like I've had clients do this with literally just like their Post-its and a pen. So whatever you happen to have access to is great. And I'm going to start off by introducing myself, and then we're going to jump into an exercise today. So however you found me in this space, I am so glad that you did. I'm Kayla Huzar, and I run a online and in-person private practice for pregnancy, postpartum, and parenting mothers. And we are here today during Maternal Mental Health Week. Actually, I think it's generally Mental Health Month. And tomorrow is actually Maternal Mental Health Day. So that's really great. I'm going to be sharing with you on the topic of thoughts and feelings today. So as you can see, I have my emotion wheel on the wall here, and I'll be sharing my screen with you today as we dive into a deeper language around our feelings. And I just wanted to take a moment to talk about the difference between thoughts and feelings. So we can have thoughts about something, and we can have feelings about something. And our thoughts can inform our feelings, and our feelings can inform our thoughts. And in yesterday's video, if you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, I'm going to do a quick recap. So we had our stuck place, and we had our radiant resilience. Okay. We talked about our stuck place being, this is our stuck place. We talked about our stuck place being something that we can see the world through. And our stuck place can be something that we wear as an identity, right? It is us. It is everything that we believe about ourselves and about others. And our radiant resilience and our resources can help us in all of that. Okay. And so how do thoughts and feelings play into this? Is that our thoughts and feelings can inform our stuck place and our radiant resilience. So when we think about our feelings, sometimes they can be hard to name. And when I ask people how they are, I get normally one of 4 responses. I'm fine. I'm busy. I'm okay. And I'm surviving. Normally one of those 4 responses are the responses I get. None of those are feeling words. So we are going to be activating more of that language around our feelings today, and then how that kind of informs our thoughts. So the creative exercise that I'd like to walk you through today is I'm going to be naming some feelings for you, and then you're going to be expressing them on your paper. And I'm going to be doing this with you. And so whether you have watercolors and watercolor paper, or pastels and paper, or newspaper, or a Post-it, or a pen, all of it is good. All of it. Doesn't matter what you have. I have done art out of my recycle bin. Okay. So this is not about the right supplies. It's not about doing it right. It's about creating a different language about how we are communicating, feeling, and expressing those feelings inside. So as a little warm-up exercise, I forgot my markers. Just hang on. Okay. So as a warm-up exercise, I'm simply going to give you a word and you're going to draw on your paper what that word kind of feels like in a color, in a shape, in a pattern. You know, when I was just doing this exercise with the client just the other day, and she was like, this is making me think of Inside Out, you know, the movie with all the thoughts in the Pixar movie. And I was like, that's pretty much what we're doing. And so we're just gonna tease out some of the feelings that you do feel, but don't necessarily ever really name, you know, like, when is the last time I said to anybody, like, I am frustrated about this, or I am grieving this, or I am excited about this? You know, in certain conversations and situations, maybe those things come up. But in the general everyday conversation, you know, I'm sure that you've recycled through those 4 standard responses, right? I'm fine, I'm good, I'm surviving, I'm okay, I've been really busy. So we're just going to start with a few kind of action words instead of feelings, just to see how that lands. And then we're going to move into the feelings. So I'm going to show you my paper. You do not have to have yours look like mine. Yours is going to look like yours. Okay. So what does running feel like? If there was a color, shape to running, what would that look like for you? This is running for me. Running. You can draw a line, you can draw anything. Trusting that first thought is key. I'm going to remember to breathe during this today. Sometimes when I'm doing these webinars, I can get a little tense and tight in my body. So I'm going to remember to breathe and be in my body as we go through this. Okay, so this is running. You don't have to label them, but I am, just so that I remember what I said. All right, and find a stopping place with that one. Next, what does dancing feel like or look like? And give as much attention or as much detail as needed. I'm feeling like I need to go over mine again. Actually needing to add a little bit more here. And you're just trusting what your hand, the colors want to do. And then find a stopping place with that one, wherever, you know, I think art is never really done. We just stop working on it. So just find a stopping place with that one. Taking a breath. And what does crying look like? Does it feel like crying? You can be literal. Like I'm drawing kind of water droplets. It's just what's coming to me. I'm not really sure why, but I'm wanting to draw over top of my dancing a little bit. Again, just trusting whatever's happening for you. Trying to stay out of judgment in your mind for whatever's happening on your paper. Might not look like anything. Sometimes my clients tell me that it can feel kind of like a waste of time and money to be using art materials in this way that isn't monetized or, the mainstream what art should be. I'm just going to allow those messages to exist, but not affect us right now. Yeah, so this was crying. Find a stopping place with that one. And if at any point you do feel an emotion kind of rising up inside of you, I just want you to allow it to come. Find a sense of safety within yourself to process it and sit with it. And next, our fourth one in our intro exercise is going to be loving. Whatever loving means for you. Is it to be loved, to show love, to feel loved? Holding the word loving in your mind. Okay. Finding a stopping place with that one. And I just want you to take a moment to breathe with what's on your paper, taking it in, allowing it to exist. Just noticing what's happening in your body. Noticing the thoughts you might be having. Noticing any judgments, criticisms, praise, celebration, release. Just allowing all of it to be there. One of the things that I like to practice most in my workshops and one-on-one work is the art of slowing down. Slowing down enough to notice what's going on in our bodies, thoughts we're having. We can spend a lot of time in doing mode, in autopilot, in survival, in prioritizing things over ourselves. And when we sit down to make art in this way with intentionality for it to be healing or transformative, meaningful, we're saying yes to ourselves. And saying yes to ourselves can feel hard sometimes. So whatever transpired on the page for you, just like yesterday with our stuck place, I want to practice just putting it down. Putting down whatever happened, whatever you were processing, whatever you were thinking of, we're just going to put it down. Okay. And we're going to move into a visualization, which is kind of like a meditation for anyone who's not familiar with that. I'm going to be talking the whole time. I'm just going to be leading your subconscious through a bit of a visualization around what your feelings feel like and look like right now. So if you are in a place where you could move to a comfortable chair, or if you feel like lying down, I invite you to do that. You don't have to. I do these exercises with my clients all the time while they're sitting at their desk or at their kitchen table. So wherever you are is totally fine. If you happen to be watching this right now and your kids are with you, or you've got dogs scurrying about, or maybe your partner's home while you're listening to this, I just invite you to just acknowledge that those noises are there, but that you can practice being here. You can be in here and still have everything else be going on around you. We can have this perception that meditation is done in a dark, quiet, really curated room, and we sit there for 20 minutes or half an hour, and it's this glorious experience. And while that can be true, the majority of what I like to teach people is that you can be mindful and you can check in with what's going on in here, anywhere, with anything going on around you. So I'm going to invite you into that transitionary space now, where we're going to be doing a guided visualization. Like I said, I'm going to be talking pretty much the whole time, giving you some prompts and things to be visualizing and thinking about. And then whatever happens in the visualization, we're going to put that down on paper. So whatever you saw, whatever you felt, if you felt an essence of something, we're going to be then moving into an art practice where you get those feelings down on the paper. So closing your eyes if you feel comfortable. If that's not comfortable or not safe because you've got little ones or other things you need to be watching, that's okay. Just find something kind of soft or colorful to kind of gaze at, to kind of hold your attention there. So I just want you to start by taking a few deep breaths And just acquainting yourself to a bit of just a moment of quiet. Noticing your breath coming in and out of your body. Noticing if there are places that feel tense or tight. Noticing the parts of your body that feel comfortable. They feel kind of at ease right now. Our intention is not to stop any of the thoughts that come in, but it's just to navigate them with an ease and a practice of just setting it down. When we stop in this way, we can be bombarded with, I need to get these groceries and this is on my list, and why isn't this part of my life better? Or why did I say that yesterday? And in this moment, those thoughts are going to come. Allow them to come. And then give them permission to go. Because in this moment, you are here to take care of you. All that other stuff can wait. Taking a few intentional deep breaths in. And the first feeling I want you to imagine is anger. If the anger that you feel or have felt has a color or a shape, allow that to come into your mind's eye. It's normal to feel that emotion well up in your body as you imagine it in this way. And I want you to notice in your body where you might be hanging on to the feeling of anger. Allowing the anger to go now. Imagining in your mind's eye what sadness looks like if it were a color or a shape. Feeling where sadness takes up space in your body. Allowing the sadness to go now. And imagining what your joy feels like in your body. And what color and shape it is. Imagining what your joy feels like in shape and color and where it lives in your body. Allowing that feeling of joy to leave now. And imagining next what your fear or worry looks like in shape and color. And where does this physical sensation live in your body? Allowing the fear and worry to go now. And our second last feeling, love for others. What does love for others look like in shape and color? And where does that sensation live in your body? And our last feeling, love for self. What does love for self look like in shape and color? And where does that sensation live in your body? I want you to imagine them all together now. Anger, sadness, joy, fear or worry, love for others, and love of self. What is the relationship between the feelings? Maybe your anger and your sadness are connected in some way. Imagining all 6 of these feelings together now. Is one bigger, louder, more consuming than another? Is there one that feels the tiniest? Maybe it even feels insignificant. Feeling these 6 feelings together, how they have relationships with each other, the size they are, the loudness they have. And I want you to stay with whatever's going on in your mind's eye. for as long as you need. And when you feel ready, at your own pace and your own time, coming back to the room and expressing those 6 feelings through whatever art means that you've got. Getting those 6 feelings down on paper, giving yourself a gentleness that it might not look how it looked in your mind's eye. It's all about the process. All about process, not product. So finding a stopping place again, even if you feel like you're not quite done, you can always come back to this exercise. And I'm going to share with you now some of the journal questions that I share with my clients when they're doing this work. And the process for the journal questions, if you were able to be present during the meditation and the art process, is we're taking it just a little deeper. We're taking it deeper in the sense that we are noticing not only what the process was like for us, but what the art might mean, or what it might indicate, or the information it might be giving us. So I have a lot of clients who say to me that they can express themselves through art differently than they can through words or talking. And so with the art, keeping your art in mind, I want you to look at those journal questions. You don't have to complete them now. If you're here live, you can certainly take your time and and watch them in the replay or when I send out the email. And so while you're just looking over those journal questions or maybe even working on them, I just want to give you a little bit of perspective of what my art kind of looks like and means. So for me, my sadness almost always shows up like water, like waves. And so that was the feeling that I started with here at the bottom. My anger and my sadness have a complicated relationship. And so the volcano is here kind of in the water. And my worry or fear is this kind of like purple knotted ball, kind of stuck in the sadness, partway between anger and sadness. And then the joy is up here in the sun. My love for self and my love for others are these like kind of circles, and the birds are the lines that are there. And what I notice when I put my feelings down on paper like this is that it changes them, it shifts them, gives them a place to go, a channel or an outlet. And when we notice what parts of the process were most difficult or emotional or fun, we can gather information for that. So when you're working through the journal questions, just kind of keep that in mind, that they're information. Anger is not bad. Sadness is not bad. Worry or fear is not bad. You know, I think we can have these versions and stories about feelings. And then we can feel bad about feeling them. So not only are we feeling the feeling, but then we can also feel bad about feeling the feeling, which is, I'm laughing about it because it feels so rational and reasonable to do that. But anger in itself is not a bad feeling. It's in the feelings wheel, you know, it's there, it's part of who we are. And we can't always, I'm just trying to find my feelings wheel so that I can share it with you. It's, those feelings are not inherently wrong, or we're not bad for feeling them. They just are. And we can have these, relationships with the feeling, and it can be hard to understand that anger might actually be coming from a place of resentment, or that sadness might be actually coming from a place of feeling isolated, or that fear is coming from a place of feeling inadequate or inferior. And so if this feelings wheel is new to you, please just Google feelings wheel and it'll come up. And the creator of this feelings wheel has actually created another graphic. So it's got the first ring of feelings, the second ring of feelings, and then it's also got behaviors attached to it. And so it's kind of like, how do these feelings present? And it can give you context to how you're really feeling. So for me personally, when I am feeling neglected in my relationship or in my life, or I'm telling myself stories about how people don't care about me, I can feel sad, but it often comes out as anger. And so, you know, we can have these connections with these feelings. And until we can really name it, it's hard to process it, you know? So that's what I wanted to share with you today in terms of our thoughts and our feelings and how they're connected, and how we behave and how we show up in the world when we are feeling things. Now, we took 15 minutes today to really focus on just 6 feelings. This exercise can be done over and over again. I try to do this exercise for myself at least once a week. When I'm with clients, I give them access to the meditation for this exercise so that they can do it at their leisure. This feelings exercise can really give us lots of information about what we need, how we're feeling, what are the thoughts associated with our feelings. Are we beating ourselves up for having feelings? You know, When we have a bout of rage or a bout of anger in our motherhood, do we then feel shame about it? Do we then criticize ourselves for that? And that can be true. All of that can be true. And we can know that we have information. Our body is giving us information. I know that it can feel kind of fluffy to say, like, anger is here to teach us something. But if we can get through all of the barriers and the criticisms and the defensiveness of that, it is here to teach us something. When I am yelling at my kids, and I am not perfect, that's information for me. It's information that my needs are not being met, or I'm not prioritizing myself. I'm not communicating clearly. I'm rushed. It's not all my fault, right? Like, kids are they're depending on the ages of your children, it can be real frustrating. And that anger is real for me. I'm allowed to feel it. I'm allowed to show it. The part that makes me feel shame is when I spill it over to them unintentionally. They don't deserve it. There's a time and a place for me to raise my voice or to be firm or to set boundaries. But I don't want that to come from a place of my own rage or my own unmet needs or my own lack of clear communication in my relationship. What we talked about yesterday, and I really encourage you to watch the My Stuck Place video if you haven't already, is that we can change the way that we feel stuck or the places that we get stuck. And one of those places is the way that we view, respond to, and process our own feelings. So I am going to leave it at that today. And I hope you come back tomorrow for whatever the topic is tomorrow. It's totally drawing a blank in my brain. And I'll be posting on socials about it. And if this felt really nourishing for you, I encourage you to check out my Motherload membership that is opening tomorrow on Maternal Mental Health Day, which is my entire library of expressive arts exercises that you can do at your own pace. And it includes support from me in WhatsApp and also live monthly meetups with other moms, doing exactly what we did today. Not always feelings, but a topic around motherhood that we choose to do every month. And all the details, if you are interested, if you're not, I take no offense. We're just here today to celebrate the expressive arts and using them for mental health. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you're on my newsletter list, because there's going to be an exclusive discount that's going to be emailed out tomorrow. And I will leave you with that. If you are feeling triggered, activated, like you need to process something, feel free to reach out to me or somebody else you love, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Have a great day.